What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in. Today, I am going to do a quarter one review for 2025. Can you believe quarter one is already over? It's been crazy in the market. The real estate market is starting to spin real fast at certain price points. Everything under 1.5 million is just flying off the shelf. And then homes that are completely done where you don't need to do a darn thing, just come and turn the key and move in. Those homes between 1.5 million and 3 million, those homes are getting multiple offers. If you have a home that needs work, you need to price it low. There is no medium market value right now. Homes that need work have to be priced low in order to get sold. Homes that don't need any work, that are completely redone up to $3 million, they're going to have multiple offers. And everything under 1.5 million that's halfway decent is gone real quick. All right, so let's get into these stats. I am going to share my screen. Here we go. And let's show you. These are median sales prices. This is January right here. This is Westlake Village in blue, Thousand Oaks in red, Simi Valley in green, and Moorpark is in gray. So you can see that in January and Westlake Village and Thousand Oaks kind of remained flat through February. And then we see that in March, there's a big drop in the median sales price. That is due to the large amount of inventory, the influx of inventory that hit the market between January and March. Okay, and then in Simi Valley, you see that the median price actually went up between January and February and then remained relatively flat through March. And Moorpark, we see a drop from January to February, and then it went up. The prices went up a little bit in March through March. All right, and then let's take a look at price per square foot. We're going to look at the medians. Crunching the numbers. All right, here we go. So January price per square foot was down here in Westlake and Thousand Oaks. Westlake has much more of a sharper arc, but what we're seeing is the price per square foot went up in Westlake Village drastically because a lot of the homes you have a wide variety of values in Westlake Village. You have townhomes and condos, and then you have homes up to 20, $30 million, right? Well, when you see the price per square foot drastically increase like this is where you can tell that a lot of the inventory that came on the market in Westlake Village was in their starter section, because that's where the price per square foot is the highest, obviously. So now in January to February, price per square foot went up sharply. A lot of inventory came on the market unexpectedly, up to about $2 million, $1.5, $2 million in Westlake, and then remained relatively flat, slightly increased through March. In Thousand Oaks, it went up a little bit, but then February to March, you see a sharp drop in price per square foot in TO. And in Simi Valley, it went down from January to February and then started to recover price per square foot because a lot of their smaller inventory started moving. And don't get offended when I say smaller inventory. All of these towns have wide ranges of homes where you can get a home that's maybe 1,000 square feet big, all the way up to 10,000 square feet. Or Westlake Village, there might even be 14 and 15,000 square foot homes. All right, and then Moorpark, we see that in January was down, 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 and then it went up sharply in February, and then a little bit up in March in price per square foot. And that also is due to the size of the homes that were selling between January through the end of March. And you see that those homes were on the smaller side, comparatively. All right, let's take a look at days on market. How long does it take for a house to get sold? All right, so now you see in January, we were way up here. It was about 68 days in Westlake Village because a lot of the inventory in Westlake Village at that time was the luxury market and the ultra luxury market. But then you see a huge drop from 68 down to 26 in February. And that's because that's when a lot of the middle inventory came out between 1 million and 2.5 million in Westlake Village, and then it continued to drop down to 24 through the end of March. And then in Thousand Oaks, we're over here at 37, and it went up a little bit to 39 through February, and then down drastically down to 25. Again, that's because a lot of those homes that are priced entry level started to come out. Simi Valley was at 30 days. They dropped to 27 and then rose to 33. All right, not a huge increase. And Moorpark was here at 40 days, and then they dropped because a lot of their starter inventory came out to 27, and now they're back up because there's a lot of inventory in all these towns, folks. A lot of inventory to 35. All right, speaking of a lot of inventory, let's take a look at months of supply. So here we are in December. You see the increase starts. We start seeing all this inventory coming to the market. This is nothing but upward lines. Westlake Village in January had 3.5 months of supply. Thousand Oaks had 2.2, Simi Valley has 2.4, and then Moorpark had 1.5. Now, keep in mind that even though we have a drastic increase in inventory, we're not in a normal inventory market until we hit 6 months of inventory everywhere. So we are on the way, folks, but we are still in what's considered low inventory. So by the end of the first quarter, Westlake Village ends the first quarter with 4.3 months of inventory, Thousand Oaks 2.9, Simi Valley with 3.0, and Moorpark with 2.5, but everything is trending upwards. So what effect is that going to have on price? Okay, inventory increases, the supply increases, the demand is there. And technically, normally, historically, you would see pressure on prices, but there have been some very interesting news in the last 2 days regarding interest rates and the stock market. I'm sure you guys have all seen the stock market's lost nearly 3,000 points in 2 days, trillions of dollars down, which has positively influenced mortgage interest rates. So if you are looking for the safest bet with your money right now, folks, real estate is the answer. The 30-year fixed at the end of yesterday dropped to 6.63. Great news. 15-year fixed dropped to 6.05. 30-year jumbo down to 6.80. 7 and 6 SOFR arm down to 6.10. The 30-year FHA is down to 6.07. The 30-year VA is at 6.09. All right, so we are in some crazy times. Rising inventory, dropping interest rates. What's going on with the stock market? It's currently tumbling downward, but we always know it always recovers. And when it does, boy, does it come back strong. The real estate market right now is booming in different markets. Up to $1.5 million, booming. Between $1.5 million and $2.5, $3 million, you need to have a house that is buttoned down completely, recently redone, remodeled, really nice finishes, really nice upgrades. And if you have one of those homes, you are going to get multiple offers up the wazoo. Okay. If you have a home that needs some TLC, then I hate to tell you this, but it's the God's honest truth. You need to price your home low. Cost of construction is way up, and the buyers are doing their calculations. And if you think you're going to get a medium price for your home right now, if it needs a lot of love, you're not. Unfortunately, you're not. You are going to need to price it low because the buyers are doing their calculations on what it would cost them to make that house catch up with the other homes that are completely remodeled and renovated. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in. That was my quarter one review for 2025. I am Josh Brenner with Compass right here in Westlake Village, California. If you like information about real estate, please like and subscribe to my channel. If you have any thoughts, motivations, questions, want to buy, sell, or invest, give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. I would love to talk to you. Thank you so much for tuning in. And always remember to get some exercise today, everybody. Yeah, have a good day, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye. Peace.